To watch all of my exclusive content not featured here on my channel, log on to my website at imjustheretomakeyoutthink.com/films.
But
Yeah,
no,
swamp lands everywhere water's located, usually the rivers.
Yeah.
The lakes and the rivers. But definitely the lakes. Let me say the lakes first.
yeah.
That's usually where the swamps are located. Like, they tried to get rid of the majority of them, or at
Yes,
least
they
push
did.
people away from them. That's mainly what it was. They built around them.
And
But like, if you go to places in Alabama or Virginia and stuff like that, Mississippi, they still got them. They still got the swamps,
Louisiana.
Florida, Louisiana. They still got
Disney
swamps.
owns a lot of the swamplands down there in Florida. Disney owns a lot of them.
Yeah, Disney
bet.
Disney and Banks are on trying to see. This the reason why. This the reason why I'm trying to get as much land as I can, and I'm trying to encourage other people to get land now. Because even if you own a house that's on a piece of property, you don't own the house. You're renting because you're a resident. Even though you got a deed, that's just showing that you're a tenant, not an owner. I mean, until you own that land, that house ain't yours. Because if you die, it don't go to your family members. If you die, it's going right back to the bank.
The bank. Yes, sir. You right.
Can I ask you this? Because this is something that I've been wondering about. All right, so can the queen still take your, like, if you're on a piece of land that you don't own and you have a house there, can the queen still take that?
The government can take it. The government can claim it in whatever they want. Foreclosure. I mean, we see it every day. Taxes.
Yeah.
They can say that they're confiscating it due to them creating some type of new community or new facility, or they'll try to buy you out if they need to. Basically, they're just trying to buy the spot. So they already got the land. They're just trying to buy that spot, the lot. Actually, they call it a lot.
Well, there's a lot of places down in Florida that has happened this year. There's been a lot of people been evicted and sent on their way, and the government has taken that land. And so there's like a lot of homeless right now.
That's sad. That's sad as fuck, bro.
Yeah, that's eminent domain, the right of government or its agent to expropriate private property for public use with payment of compensation. That's eminent domain.
They'll try to pay you. Yeah, they'll try to. They basically trying to pay for your lot, and they'll undercut you. They'll definitely undercut you. They're definitely not going to pay the full price of your house.
No, hell no.
Yeah,
why would they do that?
Yeah,
like if your house is if your house is $650,000, they're gonna give you $100,000.
See, now I know the government can do that, but I was just trying to see if the queen still had any kind of power plays here in our states, because I know before she did, but I didn't know if she still did, and I haven't really looked into it much. I thought
it's still
maybe
British law. It's still British law. It's still British rule. Right. I mean, even when you go on the court, that's the British government setup.
Yeah,
like, that's
maritime law. That's different. Yeah, so 100% different language.
That's all theirs. That's not ours. They brought that crap over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's still there, but I mean, once people get cognizant of what's going on, then we can make some changes. All we got to do is knock them out of here. Just like how they were easily penetrated, they can easily be removed because their stay is a temporary stay. The reason why is because if you look at the term resident, that means that's a person in transient status. That means that person has somewhere else to go. Yeah, that's not their original land. So if you're a resident, this is what you're calling yourself when you're saying that you're a citizen. You're saying the same thing. You're saying the exact same thing. A citizen is a resident. Resident is a person in transient status. That means you're there temporarily. That doesn't mean that you're there permanently. And that's what the government set up, and this is the reason why people are not tied to their states. They're tied to estate. Which one is that? Well, it's 13 districts. So who was the head of the 13 districts? The corporation. So where was the corporation established? The city of Washington. What is that called? Washington, D.C. But wait, Washington, D.C. is not a state. Right. So anybody that's a citizen, that means that you're stateless. So what does that mean? If you're stateless, that means you're not tied to any state. That means you're not tied to their constitution. Listen, you're not tied to anybody's constitution by state or federal. The reason why is because you're tied to the city of Washington as a citizen. So you're here temporarily by their paperwork. They're literally trying to take you off of your land by claiming that you're a citizen or a resident, not of this land, of the United States government. I mean, this is their laws. They created this bull crap. It's all fraudulent. All I'm doing is repeating what they're saying. People just need to see. Pull that crap up and you're going to notice that, oh, they really did a number on us. And the genocide was by the paper, by the pen paper. The war was the pen. Those that lived by the sword died by the sword. And those that lived by the pen died by the pen. Okay, and what I mean by that is that you're still physically here, but the pen killed you.
Yeah.
Took away that what you
a long time ago, and who was in control of the pen?
Yeah.
That's the enemy.
Yeah. Real shit.
That's how you point them out.
You know what? You're right. Because me and my aunt been talking a lot about the census and a lot about the different thing, because there's a lot of variations of our last name, but we still don't really even know what our true last name is supposed to be. You know, and the way they did that too is a lot of times, even if you weren't home and stuff like that, you know, they could go to your neighbor and ask your neighbor, hey,
that's correct.
You know, what kind of person lived there? Like, what's their nationality? What's their name? And then boom, they just write it down.
Yeah, and it becomes official document. Official government record. You know, and that's based off of what? A stranger's.
Right.
Okay, that's based off of a stranger's opinion. So that's why I said stop dealing in fact, because a fact is an opinion. Okay, an opinion is an assumption, a thought, a belief. That means that it's a theory that has not been proven. It has nothing to do with truth.
It's only true if you believe it. and
when people, you know, we listen to a lot of people on these social media sites and we holler fact, but the whole time we're just agreeing with somebody else's opinion.
For sure.
We're falling into the same trap the whole time.
And we're doing it to ourselves.
My whole thing is my whole thing is to get people to think for that reason. Think for yourself again. Don't even take my word for it. Think for yourself. Stop having somebody else do the thinking and talking for you. Yep. Otherwise, you're going to fall into a deeper hole that you're in right now.
Straight up.
And we still allowing this guy, problem after problem after problem. We can knock this out the park by simplifying where this problem is stemming from. It's the government, hands down. Now, if we had way more control over the government, like how they claim, this is how you know we the people wasn't referring to us as the people. Because if we did have power, we could override a lot of the stuff that's going on that we know is wrong. Police brutality, environmental racism. We could knock this out the park real easy. This could be taken care of. But no, they gonna still allow foreigners to come in here, and look at how many millions they get for doing nothing. Okay, still right now, these Afghanistan's coming over here. They opened up the borders, whole rack of foreigners coming over here and getting paid. They just shipped out 500 million from the Biden administration to pay these Afghans to come over here. 8
planes full of people, the cargo planes too.
By cargo planes, cargo ships. This been happening for years. They have not stopped this. This is not brand new. What they're doing right now, talking about they opening and closing the borders. They've been letting foreigners in here ever since the 1800s.
And get rich.
And they come over here and get land allotted to them. They get specialized benefits by way of the federal government, which includes money. This has been happening. They always set funds to the side in order to make the numbers look good on the census by manipulating them. They consider people that's darker than you and darker than me white on the census. For that reason, to manipulate the numbers. Now, the numbers of the 2020 census came out, and guess what? The whites are the minority right now. That's not in the news. I wonder why. Now, Biden said that the white race is going to be nearly extinct by the time 2042 comes.
Wow.
Meaning that they will be the minority. But actually it happened faster than he predicted. Because according to the 2020 census, it says that white is the minority right now. That's the reason why they're trying to hurry up and bring more foreigners in here so they can slap white on them real quick, get them numbers up.
Yeah.
This how you know it ain't got nothing to do with the population count. They're manipulating the population count. And how come we've been stuck on 56 million for how long? As far as so-called black people, we've been stuck on that same number for years. Would you stop counting?
Right, exactly. We know that ain't.
Right.
It's too many. You had to stop counting.
That was one of the reasons why when that Stop Asian Hate thing came out, because they wanted to prepare people for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, Asian people are going to be considered white in this country. They're trying to welcome them to the group. You know, like, and the biggest fear, and that's why I keep saying that they came up with that term white, like stop calling yourselves white, because y'all are just playing into it. Because whenever you call yourself white, you know, you're taking away from, first off, your actual lineage. Like, say you're Italian, Irish, whatever. You know what I'm saying? They came up with the group of being white so that they wouldn't be the minority.
It's a social construct. The terms white and the terms black is a social construct that has nothing to do with skin complexion.
Right.
If you're considered white by the census, you will get treated with the best respect and have a lot of privileges by the government. If you're black, you're dead to the government.
Right.
That's crazy.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Civil status.
That's why you had a lot of people, you know, a lot of people, even like black people, going and getting in interracial relationships and then trying to have a light-skinned baby and then sending their baby away to live with a white family so that they could try to have a better life.
Or in certain cases, I've seen it to a point where some so-called white families would allow so-called black people to be in their families to keep that bloodline afloat because they are a dying breed. And I'm not trying to be funny. If you look at the records, they're not reproducing like we are. In fact, ours is 10-1 compared to them, 10-1. That study has come out now. So they are dying off, and that's not a joke.
No, they said they got a recessive gene. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I thought you were finished for a minute.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that they, got like a recessive gene or something like that in them that's like, what I'm saying, causing them to not be able to reproduce as rapidly as us or something like that. But I did not mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
They do. It is something dealing with their genes, but at this point, it's too late. Whatever they were trying to do, it's too late. Yeah. Now their numbers are way too low. So they're slapping that white status on everyone to confuse the people to think that these people are actually of pale skin. And they're not. Sure. It doesn't. That's why I'm saying white has nothing to do with your skin complexion. Even the people that's considered white, not white.
Right.
Okay. So it's done by design. That's to keep the people separate. While another group of people are dying off right now. That's a dying breed.
Dropping off a cliff, basically.
Hey, can I say this one thing real quick? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, King.
That brother that was just speaking is right and exact. I kid you not. On the Bible, your Torah, go talk to Imam, whatever. There's an African that worked at my job talking about pitch black, straight from the continent. One day, we were all working, so-called black people. He said, man, you see y'all lazy. I like y'all though, but you lazy. Black no good. Me, I'm white. I said, what you mean by that? He said, don't worry about it.
Wow.
Yeah,
just like that, huh?
The Africans are coming over here being labeled as white. Africans, Arabians, Egyptians, you name it. They coming over here and they're being labeled as white on the census.
Because you said it's a social thing, not a color. Okay.
It's a social construct. They're not allowing us to look at the bigger picture.
Yeah, right. Okay. It's the Wizard of Oz. They putting up a big illusion on us.
They told you to go back to Africa to make it seem in the 50s and the 60s to make it seem as if you came from there when they came from there. But they needed time. They needed time to hurry up and hide some of these records to make it inaccessible to you during that time period. So now, And 30 years later, the internet came, okay? And now all this information is out there. So it's still not easily accessible, but it is out there. You can find out this information. They know what's going on. People are waking up. People are waking up, and look, I'm trying to tell you, it's going to happen one way or another, no matter who likes it or not. Change is coming. Get ready.
It's inevitable, for sure.
I never did ask you this question, Dave. Why did the Pope go and kiss that black African guy's feet?
Tradition.
Or is that a tradition?
They do that in the Bible, man. They do that in the Bible. Basically, they kiss the feet, and they do the foot washings and stuff like that to basically humble themselves or whatever beneath humble themselves. It's a humility thing, because people, that's your feet. You walk on that. Your feet are dirty. They clean the dust off, basically. It's a ritual.
It's showing purity. I mean, what happens is, you got to understand, the majority of these religious beliefs eliminated the woman out of their demographics of what they follow a line to, or what they traditionally believe in. To simplify things, they eliminated the woman. So they look at the man as the man and the woman. I'm gonna say this again. They eliminated the woman so they could look at the man as the man and the woman. That's not procreation.
Yeah.
What's the opposite? What's the opposite of procreation? Religion. Religion.
Yeah, you simplified it. I was gonna say something else, but yeah, that's about spot on.
Because you can't reproduce man on man. You can only reproduce man on woman. Unless it's been done in a lab. Unless it's been done in a lab.
It definitely
and that's
ain't
not
natural.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why they don't want to hold the woman up. Because the woman has a lot more power than these men.
Yeah.
Right. Now they're calling us birthers and chest feeders.
Because
what?
okay,
Wait.
With this LQ 7, 8, 9, 10.
The C3PO community.
It's
C3PO.
like they eliminating the woman straight up. They call themselves being inclusive, but they just getting rid of us. We are birthers.
The only thing,
like, I'm a mother. I'm a mother. I brought life onto this earth. I'm a birther now and a chest feeder.
No, I said they did this years ago. This was already inside of their religious beliefs. I'm talking about before it even came to these shores. That's how it was. They don't hold up the woman like how she should be. In fact, they have eliminated the woman. Religion is about holding women hostage, just like marriage. It's a bondage. Listen to me. Religion is about holding women hostage. It's a bondage, just like marriage. They're making the women slaves. Like, for example, in certain denominations of Christianity, they hold up Jesus as somebody that you should worship, right? But they don't give the credit to his mother for birthing him.
Exactly. That's so. Oh, thank you for saying that, bro. Real talk. I always wondered, like, if it was the Holy Spirit supposed to be like the representation of the female, the negative energy. Because I always thought, like, okay, you got the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, but they never really acknowledged that the Holy Spirit was female. Right. I'm like, so how does this all work? Like, did he?
Thank you.
Real talk.
Thank you. There it is.
Wow.
The Father, the Son, and some religions, they gonna make up excuses about where man came from. Some of them say, some of them say the rib cage. Some of them. Should I keep going? Should I keep going?
Right.
But reality is, or every single one of us came from mom.
Yes.
That's reality.
Right.
Exactly. That's why it never made sense, because I'm like, all right, if we came out of rib, we'd still be coming out of ribs.
What's going on? Why is it monkeys still around here? They was too stupid to turn into humans.
That too. That's that Darwinism theory. That's natural selection. Darwinism. Charles Darwin created that. Natural selection, claiming that humans derived from monkeys. If that was the case, then why do we still have monkeys?
Exactly. They just stopped. They stopped evolving.
They trying to get you to. Well, we know that the so-called black woman was the first woman. Check.
All right.
they say that they found the oldest bone in Africa, which was this monkey woman type, and that's how. So one, they saying a woman is a monkey, not only a slave but a monkey too. If you listening and you say life started in Africa, but we not monkeys, you believe we monkeys because that's how they say life started.
What they call her again? I forgot what they call this. Lucy. Wow, there you go. Thank you. Oh, yeah, that shit so stupid. What'd you say?
I said Lucifer.
Well, ooh.
Lucifer.
The burn is real.
Lucifer.
All right, now Lucifer, for example, keep in mind they was holding up Lucifer as an angel, and then they said he was casted out and fallen from the sky. Correct?
Right.
Now, in turn, Lucifer is the son of the morning. You need to stop saying
Jesus is the morning star.
Exactly.
Okay, you gotta stop saying good morning because there's nothing good in morning.
About morning.
Ooh,
Grand rising. Grand rising.
Deep, bro. Grand rising. You know what? I get it now. I get why people say that. That makes a hell of sense, bro. I'm glad you broke that down just like that.
I'm just here to make you think.